Hey everybody, it's Mark Yegge. Welcome to another weekly stock market update. Some people want to know where I am, and I'm in Australia. It's actually pretty nice here. I'm in Sydney, but it is 4:30 in the morning. So anyway, just got off my mastermind call with my wonderful people, and we had some interesting talks. There's a lot of good stuff going on in the market, and I'm just going to show you because it's the market. These markets are weird. Like it's hard to figure out markets, and that's what makes them so fun. And if you can look through the fact that maybe the markets are up or down or whatever, and you're losing money, there are some fascinating things in the market. And I wanted to show you a couple of those things. First of all, we're in a yellow condition, which basically means that you shouldn't be buying anything new. And if you're in the ilk of being protective, now's the time to start looking at protection, because over the last couple of days we've gone yellow, and it's time to be protective. There's nothing wrong with being protective during these times. Because like I always say, if you're trying to climb a mountain, if you have to, dig a hole and then you have to fill the hole back in order to keep going, well, if you don't have to dig the hole, then it's a lot easier to keep climbing. So what's going on right now is that yellow market. But I will say it's a fairly weak yellow market. And here's what I mean. The NASDAQ is at an all-time high. It doesn't sound like a yellow market to me because the NASDAQ has got a gap up today and to an all-time high. So the techs are doing well. All right, S&P 500 just hitting an all-time high. So the general market is doing well. Nice, right? The Dow Jones not hitting an all-time high, but pretty close. It's actually coiling a little spring up here as it makes a platform, as it's ready. When you go up a stair step and there's a platform, usually there's another stair step coming after it. And I think this is the year we're going to get another stair step. The New York Stock Exchange telling a slightly different story because it is selling off. And I suspect a lot of the sell-off, I was just looking at the charts in gold. Gold is down. Gold is not doing well. And oil is down. And there's a lot of New York Stock Exchange stocks. So when you look at the regular, full-blown markets like the New York Stock Exchange with 3,000 stocks, not 500, or not like the tech stocks, now you start to get a bigger picture of what's going on in the market. But still, this isn't bad. It's not anywhere near its 50-day or its 200-day moving average. So, it's just kind of moving down a little bit. Cause for concern, but we need to see more volume and more conviction if we're going to be really concerned. And the volatility index is showing this. So we had a reversion to the mean, and it bounced up over the last couple of days, but it's pulling back. And the lower the volatility index goes, the more people are into the market, and you're seeing that in the charts. Philadelphia Semiconductor Index, 2 gap ups this week. So this is telling us an interesting story, and I think I'm going to show you a couple stocks in the sectors just so you can kind of get a feel. But when the semiconductor leads, that means the techs lead. When the techs lead, the NASDAQ leads. When the NASDAQ leads, the other markets start to lead. And so we're seeing a melt up. Like I've been saying that we're going to get. We had a 50-day green market before we went yellow a couple days ago, and that's a melt up. And sometimes these melt ups can last months, maybe years. Right now, we're in a classic melt up going into an election year. So you got to kind of think about that. Like, does Fed Chair Powell want to get reappointed? If he does, he's going to try to get the president to be, to win. And so he can get reappointed. He wants to make inflation come, down, and he wants to, get the stock market to go up. Apple showed some weakness over the last several weeks, and it gapped down, and it's now trying to fill that gap. But on its way to fill that gap, it left a gap, and so now it's got 2 opposing gaps that it wants to fill, and it's right at the 50-day moving average today. So does it have enough volume to break through? Well, so far it's not bad today, and but we are in a yellow market. So I suspect we're going to churn around the 50-day moving average. Apple had a big up-day gap up yesterday, so that's really constructive. Tesla, on the other hand, has got about 11 out of 13 days down on really stupid reasons. Like, one of the reasons is that Elon Musk wants a raise, okay? The guy's working for nothing, but he wants a raise, okay? And his raise is like, give me some more stock because I only own 12% of my company. And if you give me more stock and I can get it to $1 trillion company or whatever he's saying, then, he wants to get paid. I don't blame him. I think that's a good way to pay people. Like, you get paid on results. If the guy brings results, which he's been bringing, he gets paid. It's not. And then the other thing is, some of the cars are cold, and so people are like, "Oh, I'm cold in my car." Well, you're going to be cold in the other cars too. So to me, that's a non-story, but that's why the stock is going down. Costing more selling than buying, and that's just kind of the way it goes. NVIDIA, look at that. All-time high at $588 right now. You can see this stock just wants to keep going higher. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about in my mastermind group. Look, I think the 504, 505 is the area that it breaks out, and I think it goes to 600. What do I know? I got lucky, right? But I think that's exactly what it's doing, and it's only 12 points away from the $600 level. And that's why we talk about technical analysis. Some people say it's astrology for dudes. I think technical analysis, it tells a story. It tells a story what people are willing to buy things at and sell them at, and it tells a beautiful story. Last stock I'll tell you about is SMCI. You can see that incredible, excuse me, incredible candle on the right. So huge volume, 1,200% volume today, up $95 or 30% in the day. I don't know if it's getting bought out. I don't know what's going on, but there's some kind of craziness going on. And it's at a breakout. We've been talking about in my mastermind group that the breakout is 357.10, $357.10. And sure enough, today is the day that it's breaking out. Now, these breakouts can run a long time. And so to me, this breakout looks like it's constructive and that this one wants to run a long time. Listen, this is all education and information. I have no idea what the markets are going to do. So do your own research, but maybe this is part of your research. And I sure appreciate your being here for that. Other than that, markets seem to be, even though they're yellow, they seem to be constructively good overall. And I hope you're making a bunch of money and having a bunch of fun. So with that, I will sign off and wish you a happy weekend. And I'll see you on the next weekly stock market update. Take care. Bye.